Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to show you how I created this dancing alien frog. You might have seen my previous video. In the previous video, I was kind of like doing random doodles, and then I used the AI to look at the random doodles and then try to interpret the doodles, and then I created some kind of concepts based on that doodles. So this is the latest iterations. Basically, it's like a virtual frog. It's dancing frog. You might notice the dance is actually from Mixamo animation. So it's a pre-made dance. I in the future I might try using my own dance and then applying it to the frog. But I think the process is actually super interesting. Like, okay, this is the dancing frog, but as AR, virtual AR. It's not yet like a silicon frog aliens, but it's a still kind of interesting because remember in the previous video I started with this random grease pencil doodle and then I send it to Google Bard to look at it and interpret it. We can also use our own brain to interpret what is this. So I end up with lots of design or concept, right? Let me show you. So the frog, okay, this is the latest iterations. The one I have in the previous day is actually this frog, all kind of shapes of alien frogs. So based on that doodle scribbles, you can create this concept. It's highly realistic, but you can also make it stylistic. But I think in this case for the alien frogs, I think it's kind of nice and more believable. And it's, of course, this is just a single render, right? It's not 3D. So that's why I'm using this online service from Common Sense Machinery. I mentioned about this a couple of times, and I have a couple of example here. So this is not real time. Actually, the process takes maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, I don't know, just a few hours. Usually I upload it a single generated AI image and then I send it to Common Sense Machinery. And you might notice, okay, the result here is not always perfect, but it's actually some of them are pretty good. Just need a little bit of touch up. Even though the original image, the original single image is not exactly the same as the 3D, but it could be like a starting point. Sometimes even you can just simply use it right away. Okay, let's see. I think I need to reload it. Let me try actually downloading this mesh. For example, this one is pretty good. It's pretty close to the original. It's I think it's trying to create a frog. Sometimes I use like human figure. See, it's turning this lady into like a lady wearing kimono holding a bowl, which is pretty weird, but it's originally it's a different render. So I tried with all kind of different design. In a previous episode I might actually created this like a Pokemon character, something that looks more like a Pokemon, but I decided, okay, maybe it should be more like a frog, like alien frog. So that's why I created a couple of this alien frog. Okay, so based on that, I actually turn it into this dancing alien frog. So if I load it, import the GLB from CMS. So I get a couple. Maybe I'll load all of them. So we get this. So sometimes you can see the voxelations. I mean, it's still pretty impressive. Okay, this one is actually, this is a, I prompted Ken doll. I get this really weird looking doll, but this looks like a Ken sort of, and this is the lady holding a ball in kimono. the rest of them is this alien frog, which I quite like. This is the Pokemon looking character. Okay, right, from CMS you get this character. And okay, let's delete this guy, we don't need. File, save as. So this could take just a few hours to create, right? Okay, this is maybe more or less like a concept. It could be final because you can actually print this out. This design is like quite believable. Sometimes you get this weirdness around the area of the feet, you know, like overlapping. I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes you get this issue with the stomach. Let me show you. This is probably something you need to fix. But also this guy, you might need to go to edit mode and then merge vertices by distance. See, it's removing 4,000 something vertices. So each one of these needs some cleanup before you can do anything with it. So I clean up some of them. Okay, this guy, for example, you need to sculpt a little bit. In this case, you need to kind of fix that area. So some sculpting ability can help, and then you know the drill. I mean, you might do some more details. So currently, if you look at this, so that's a little bit more decent. This is a kind of low res. It's not exactly medium resolutions. You can look at the texture. There's a lot of details on the texture itself, but the sculpt itself is pretty low res. And if we smooth this area, we lost some of the details around the stomach, but it's okay. There's something you can fix. Same with this guy, it's losing a little bit of volume. Inflate maybe, or just sculpt, or just use clay. But I think overall, if you look at this, overall you can see it's quite decent. They look like someone actually sculpted. So this is something that you can do in Blender yourself. You know, it's a fun. You know, as a 3D artist, you definitely want to do this as well if you want spend a few hours on this. And the painting, the texture, of course, the one that's coming out from CMS is not 100% exactly what you want. Of course, sometimes it's looking quite decent, but still you can perhaps improve it because it's not a PBR material. You can see it looks like it's being burnt. You need to fix the texture, of course, repaint it maybe. I'm gonna bring another example. Okay, this guy, slightly different design compared to the rest. It's got extra eyes, but the texturing, it's there, and it's the AI from CSM trying to reimagine the character. So we got this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but made using AI, sort of. Yeah, alien frogs. So from here, of course, you can retopo you can clean up, maybe do proper retopo, resculpt it. Definitely highly recommended to do that. And then if you want to do repainting, you might lose some of the details. Maybe you can keep some of the details from the one that's AI generated, because that's already looking kind of nice, even though it's a little bit burnt. It's not PBR exactly, but maybe there's an extra process that we can do to fix that. So we have these 5 Power Rangers alien frogs, and the next thing we want to do is just to send it to Mixamo and rig it. I actually try a method. Okay, I made a couple more. This one, for example, if you have a single character frog that you like, you can actually make more design based on that. So this, you can see the proportions is more or less like one of the character. So one character, one body shapes can have multiple design. Okay, this is possible because I'm using this depth control net. So using the depth and the scribble from a single character, I can make more variation. So one character can have multiple variations. So we can have, maybe this guy is slightly bigger. This one can be smaller. This is like Raphael, right? So we have slightly different shapes. Okay, I think that's kind of nice. So if you want to try to use Mixamo, you can do that. Maybe try this guy. Oh, yeah, actually, let's try with this one. That's the one that's gonna work. Right click, clear parent, keeps transformations. Frog dude. Let's get rid of this material for now. File, export, FBX. Export FBX. Mixamo. Upload the character. So if you have like a motion capture suit and you can already record yourself, or maybe you can use like a Wonder Dynamics or other website that kind of can turn video into motion capture, then you can try that. No, this is just a quick one, again using Mixamo. If there's other method, I guess we can get a better result, but this is, I think, the fastest out there that's available. I think there, maybe you can use Pupa rigging tools for Blender, the automated one. I mean, this is only for the body. We also need to do like a face rigging. That will come eventually. And then if we have like Vision Pro, if you wear the Vision Pro, it's also come with the motion capture ability. I think we can become an alien frog in this case. So it's just like a concept, you know. It's fun to think about this. So you can be like a storyteller, or you just want to do dance, like you know, on YouTube, IG, or TikTok nowadays is a lot of dance video. So you want to use your avatar, the avatar that you imagine yourself. So it could be kind of unique, because there are so much possibilities with AI generations. So you can actually make this unique. Okay, the rig is not 100% perfect sometimes, but anyhow, you know, with the pre-made, so we get a dancing frog. You can export it out. Sometimes the arm goes in, so you might need to fix the arm space. It's not always perfect, but it's quite decent. It's still, this is all just pre-made, and it's usable in maybe in a game engine environment, but I like to turn this into AR, augmented reality, or maybe like SVR experience. But more interestingly, if we turn this into some kind of real-time experience, using your own dance move. Okay, that's weird. Okay, hip hop. This is the typical hip hop dance. Downloading assets. So what's gonna happen here? Because we got the material. Bring it back into Blender. File, import GLB. Oh, FBX, see the FBX. File, import FBX from Mixamo. This is the whole process. Okay, we have the dancing frog. Apply the material. This guy. When it comes to Blender, copy, paste. When it comes to Blender, you might see these rotations and weird scaling. Scale it to 100%. Save. Dancing frog now. So it's already rigged. You can also use Mixamo add-on to animate this frog. Actually, if you want to animate manually, there's a rigging tools for that. Yeah. In this case, maybe apply the rotations, and then on the mesh itself, you can apply the transformation, and then you can export it out as USDZ. File, export, GLB. So you got the drill. This is just extra things. On the Mac OS, you can just turn it into AR, USDZ, and you can actually just use it on a Vision Pro or any Apple devices, iPad, iPhone. You might see the character is kind of floating. That means something's not right. What you really want is to apply all transform, file, export, GLB again. So there's some kind of process there. Okay, okay, remove this rotation as well. File, export, GLB. Okay. I think that's correct. Okay, this is correct. So now this character is actually on the floor. You can export it this with centimeters or meters you need. Yeah, so that's the whole process from the basic grease pencil doodles, just symmetrical doodles, and then into something that's actually almost like physical. It's a quite amazing technology that we have at the moment. You should try this yourself. So even though it's just like a concept, maybe slightly weird, slightly crazy, you should give this a try. I think it's pretty centered, but yeah, you can actually close your eyes and then do this kind of doodle, like a Zen type of blending. Oh, it's like more like grease pencil doodles, but you can make any character, so it doesn't need to be like this crazy. But as long as the character have eyes, have arm like this, and the leg. Okay, you need to be able to draw. And yeah, it's looking like some kind of monster from Ultraman. But these scribbles can become a concept, right? Normally, of course, from here, you want to try to turn it into, you want to add color, paint it. You can make your own. Okay, first of all, you don't always need to use AI. Of course, you can manually paint this using Procreate, because you already see all the examples by AI. It doesn't mean you actually need to use that. If you actually do a study on all this character design, you can see, you perhaps after you see this, you can come back to this and decided, okay, you know, I actually think I can draw the frog, you know, like myself, like my character could be a frog, or yeah, slightly like a frog, maybe like a snail alien. I don't know how to draw the mouth. Okay, maybe it's, yeah, the mouth, the nose. I like the nose like this. The mouth, maybe. You can now have some kind of reference for a character that you are creating, so it doesn't need to be fully abstract. Right? And you can send this to the AI if you're too lazy, but or you just want to have reference, but sometimes you can't really draw the hands yourself. The AI, even though it's not always perfect, the AI can actually draw hands. You can use this as reference, and then all the texture and then all the painting. Yeah, you can. It's totally up to you, of course. This is like just really bad doodle using mouse. Viewport render image save as blah. And then for the AI, I can use draw things AI. Let's see 512 by 512 maybe, and then use loads layer scribble from files. Just want to show you this. Okay, this is the scribble, and we just need to use control net scribble diffusion. So the frog should have, okay, I just gonna use my own or let me try doing this using Bard, Google Bard. Upload a file, text, image. Okay, this is some kind of alien frog, right? What creature is this? Google Bard will take a look, and then it might actually think that this is a frog, some kind of alien creature frog. Okay, creature is a frog. Yeah, it's trying to make sense of it. Hyper realistic alien frog. Golden, or just say colorful. Okay, you can hit generate. Scribbles, because it's symmetrical and for character, this works really well. And then because this is like a character, if you send it to CSM or Common Sense Machinery AI to do the 3D things, it's gonna work. More or less, it's gonna work. But in between the process, okay, with the AI making the concept, generated AI concept, and then also, okay, it's making an actual frog, but you actually can say anthropomorphic standing toad, hyperrealistic alien. Okay, you can make it standing at the moment. This doodle looks like character have four like a normal frog, but you actually want to have like a standing frog. Maybe maybe you can actually use pose. Yeah, it's still making like a frog. You can try using the pose, yeah, or just draw the pose, or but you can make some variations and find the one that you like that's actually looking like a standing character. But you can use this concept before you go too far. You use this concept and go back to Blender, or use Procreate, or like Doodle on your iPad. Maybe use this as reference. It doesn't need to be a final, right? You can always come back to this. Randomize the seed. You can use different model. Yeah, lots of possibilities to explore, really. But that's the whole process, and so you can create anything, any kind of aliens. The process is getting a lot streamlined and easier over time. Maybe you can always prompt something, but if you actually use scribbles, or actually you can pose yourself, get a certain pose, and then use it with AI. Use a control net pose, so you can have this frog standing like human, like a human character, and then you can send it to CSM and then do the rest over there. So CMS commons csm.ai. Okay, and yeah, this can create 3D mesh from 2D. Alright, so hopefully you'll find it useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.